standing underneath the lights.
Quinacridone Nickel Azo Gold. Bird of Paradise TLP pigment. The pouring medium that I use is the 2 parts Valspar, 1 part Behr, deep base. I'll put the numbers and all that good stuff in the description. This one is called Diarylide Yellow, Golden Fluids. This is Watermelon. Which is a TLP pigment. And this is Quinacridone Magenta, which is also, it happens to be in a fluid, golden fluid acrylic version. This is just white cell activator. Okay. So, I'm gonna not use the hairdryer because I just don't get as good a result on a piece this small with the hair, you know, with using a hairdryer. We're gonna give it a minute to collect up. I hope I put enough on here because this is kind of a deep round. I'm so used to working on coasters where it's so thin, but hopefully it will come all the way over the edge. I've poured this so many times that there's already plenty of like a layer of paint around the edge, so it's not going to be like see-through, but hopefully it'll just fully come over the edge. Alright, we're going to give it a spin. Okay. I'm just looking to see if it's coming down unevenly anywhere. and it's kind of not coming down as quickly on this end. So I'm thinking maybe I'm gonna just try to move the item down this way a little. Oh, it doesn't want to move. There we go. Okay. And then I'm just going to put a little bit . Hopefully that'll encourage it over a little. And I'm gonna get a little negative space here, I think, but that's, I'm not too upset about that, but I do have this nice deep beige. I probably would like to get a little something over the edges for just for the look of it. But let's give it another big spin. Okay, well that worked. It's totally coming over this edge where I moved it over, so that's good. Probably gonna want to recenter it, or even move this edge over. I'm just gonna fuss around here at the bottom for a little second, and then we're gonna move it again. I have some just very small little areas here where it's just not quite to the bottom yet. I'm just gonna give it a little paint to encourage it. Okay, so I'm getting all the little, oh, one more little spot. Okay. Now, I'm gonna move, it worked pulling this over here. So I think what I'm gonna do is take this spot and move it over to this, you know, to one edge. Similar to what I did over there. Probably gonna need to go on two sides here. Oh, just scraped up the side. Didn't mean to do that. Okay, so now this is moved to this edge. I'm gonna try the same thing. I'm gonna give it a nice good spin and hope we get some movement this way. I didn't spin that as hard. I don't know if I even spun that in the same direction. But it's definitely coming down. Let me give it another good hard spin. Hope it doesn't go flying off. Alright, that's working. We're getting color down over this edge. And I'm liking it. I'm still struggling with the lack of, I'm trying to find the word, and the only word that's coming to my brain is oomph. And I'm struggling a little bit, like, these cells that are kind of like, they're ghostly. Like, they're there, but they're not there. You see how they're kind of underneath. I'm not sure how I feel about those. These are nice. But I have made a whole bunch of coasters in this exact color scheme, and I wanted to make a trivet in the same color scheme, And I've been enjoying this color scheme, except every time I try to do this trivet, it's sort of like these cells get lost a little bit. But this is better than all of the other times I tried. I tried it when it was raining and humid and gross and everything was melting matte. So this is way better. So I'm gonna let it dry and hope that the color, when the colors deepen while it's drying, that is where I'm gonna get what I'm looking for out of it. But we'll be back with dry results to take a look at this. Okay, here is the dry result of this piece. And I brought in a few of the coasters that I had been making, that I was trying to kind of match and and replicate. Now, I think if you had this in your house, this coaster and this trivet, I think it would feel like a match, at least as something that went together. I am just learning that because this was a much bigger area that I tried to cover, I got more of this kind of watercolory spread out colors, which in some ways I don't dislike. I mean, it's so cool over here. It looks like waves and waves of color, and I just think that when you have a coaster like this and you get this result with that's so color intense, and then you go to a bigger, I think I just needed to use more paint so that when I blew it out, it was not being blown out from the very middle. It was being blown out from maybe from here, a little close to the edge, like the coaster would. You know, because when I fill a coaster, I fill it almost right to the edge with the pillow, and then the colors, and they get blown out right to the edge. And by the time you spin it, it's, you know, most of it is the center of the bloom. See, I've got the same little sort of ethereal cells down below on this coaster as I did here on this piece, which is what was initially bothering me a little. I got the same effect here. It's just that the most of the coaster is color intense, and that most of this piece is the ethereal edges. So I think if I want to do this again and have it really match, like as a set, I think I just need more paint and probably bigger puddles of the paint so that this looks more like the coaster itself. But I'm happy with this. I'm fairly happy with this. I guess there's still a few things in my brain, otherwise I wouldn't be saying but it's better than every other try, which was a good 11 or 12 of them that I had done on this prior. And so I think I'm going to stick with it. And I thank you for being here. Come back and paint with me again.